Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible stories. How did one drunken mistake at a costume party turn into a public courtroom nightmare that cost me everything I'd built? When I let a masked stranger slide his hands under my skirt while my husband was home with our kids, I thought I could bury the secret forever. But the man I humiliated for months had been quietly building a case that would shatter my world in front of everyone who ever believed my lies. The kitchen smelled like butter and burnt toast. I leaned close to the mirror by the pantry door, tracing liquid eyeliner across my lid in one smooth stroke. Behind me, Owen was cutting Leo's chicken into tiny pieces, while Iris pushed peas around her plate with a fork. The overhead light made everything look too bright, too ordinary. I said I was going out. Owen asked if I was sure. I said of course I was sure. He reminded me that I had said just last week that I wanted more family time. I told him that was exactly why I needed a break. He did not respond right away. He just kept cutting the chicken into smaller and smaller pieces. Iris asked why I was going out again. I told her Daddy would handle bedtime. She made a small sound but did not argue. Owen's jaw tightened. He told the kids to finish their dinner. I added another coat of mascara. I said Owen never supported my social life. He said that was not true. I said he had no idea how exhausting it was to be home all day. He pointed out that I worked 4 days a week at the agency. I said that was not the point. He asked what the point was. I told him he would not understand. He put down the knife and looked at me. He asked if we could talk after the kids went to bed. I said I would be home late. He asked how late. I said I did not know. He asked if Piper was going. I said yes. He nodded slowly and returned to the chicken. I grabbed my purse and kissed the kids on the tops of their heads. Iris asked if I would be home before she woke up. I said probably not. Owen walked me to the door. He asked if I was okay. I told him I was fine. He said I seemed distant. I said he was the one who was distant. He did not argue. I drove to the warehouse loft on the east side. The party invitation had arrived in a group text 3 days earlier. I almost said no. Then Owen took a call during dinner and spent 20 minutes talking about load-bearing calculations, and I decided I deserved one night where no one needed anything from me. The loft was dark except for string lights and colored spots that swept across the exposed brick. Music pounded through the floor. I found Piper near the bar. She was dressed as a vampire, all red lips and dramatic eyeliner. She hugged me and said I looked amazing. I was wearing a black dress with lace sleeves and a short skirt. I told myself it was a witch costume. Piper handed me a drink. I finished it in 4 swallows. She laughed and said I needed this. I agreed. She ordered 2 more. I drank mine before she finished hers. A man in a silver mask appeared beside me. He said he liked my costume. I said thank you. He asked if I was here alone. I hesitated, then said I was with a friend. He said he was glad I came. His voice was low and smooth. I felt warm. Piper nudged me and whispered that he was cute. I said I had not noticed. She said I was a terrible liar. I laughed and ordered another drink. The man in the silver mask asked if I wanted to dance. I said maybe later. He said he would wait. He stayed next to me at the bar. He asked my name. I told him. He said it was unusual. I said my mother liked mythology. He said he liked unusual things. Piper disappeared to talk to someone she knew from yoga. I finished my 3rd drink. The man asked again if I wanted to dance. This time I said yes. The music was too loud to talk. He put his hand on my waist. I let him. We moved in the crush of bodies under the lights. His hand slid lower. I felt his fingers brush the top of my thigh. I should have stepped back. I did not. He leaned close and said I was beautiful. I felt his breath on my neck. I closed my eyes. His hand moved higher, just under the hem of my skirt. I froze for 2 seconds. Then I turned and kissed him. We moved toward the edge of the dance floor. There was a small alcove near the coat check. He pulled me into it. His hands were on my hips, then sliding up under my skirt. I kissed him harder. My heart was pounding. I thought about Owen at home putting the kids to bed. I thought about how long it had been since Owen looked at me the way this stranger was looking at me. I thought about nothing at all. Someone laughed nearby. I opened my eyes. The man in the silver mask was smiling. He asked if I wanted to leave with him. I said I could not. He asked why not. I said I had to get home. He asked if I was married. I did not answer. He kissed me once more, then stepped back. He said he hoped to see me again. I said maybe. He disappeared into the crowd. I stood in the alcove trying to catch my breath. My lipstick was smudged. I could still feel his hands on my skin. I walked to the bathroom and stared at myself in the mirror. My face was flushed. My eyes looked too bright. I washed my hands twice. I found Piper near the door. She asked if I was leaving already. I said I had to get home. She asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. She hugged me and told me to text when I got home safe. I sat in my car for 5 minutes before starting the engine. I checked my phone. Owen had texted an hour earlier, asking if I was having fun. I typed a reply saying I was catching up with Piper and would be late. I added that he should not wait up. I drove home slowly. The streets were empty. I parked in the driveway and sat in the dark. The house was quiet. One light was on in the living room. I walked inside. Owen was on the couch with his laptop. He looked up and asked if I had a good time. I said it was fine. He asked if Piper was doing well. I said she was. He nodded and returned to his screen. I went upstairs and checked on the kids. Iris was asleep with her stuffed rabbit tucked under her chin. Leo had kicked off his blanket. I pulled it back over him. Owen came upstairs a few minutes later. He asked again if I was okay. I said I was tired. He said I smelled like alcohol. I said there was a lot of drinking at the party. He said he was just making an observation. I told him not to start. He said he was not starting anything. I went into the bathroom and locked the door. I took off my makeup and stared at myself in the mirror. My hands were shaking. I told myself it was just the alcohol. I told myself it did not mean anything. I told myself Owen would never find out. I climbed into bed. Owen was already asleep on his side, facing away from me. I lay in the dark and thought about the man in the silver mask. I thought about his hands under my skirt. I thought about the way he looked at me. My phone buzzed on the nightstand. I picked it up. There was a text from an unknown number. It said I looked like I was having fun tonight. I stared at the screen. My heart started racing again. I looked at Owen. He had not moved. I deleted the text and put the phone face down. I lay awake for a long time. Across the room, a camera flash replayed in my mind. I had not seen who was holding the phone. The office was cold on Monday morning. I sat at my desk with a coffee that had gone lukewarm and pretended to read emails. Piper stopped by around 10. She asked how I was feeling. I said I was fine. She said I looked tired. I said Owen and I had a fight after I got home. It was not true. Owen had barely spoken to me all weekend, but Piper leaned against my desk and her face shifted into sympathy, and I kept talking. I said Owen guilt-tripped me for going out. Piper asked what he said. I told her he accused me of neglecting the kids. She said that was manipulative. I agreed. I said he had not touched me in months. Piper's eyes widened. I said he was always working or on his phone, and I felt invisible in my own marriage. None of it was entirely true. Owen worked long hours because I had pushed him to take the promotion. He was on his phone because he was managing project schedules. And he had tried to initiate intimacy just 2 weeks earlier, but I had said I was too tired. But Piper did not know any of that. She hugged me and said I deserved better. She said I should do what made me happy. I felt a small thrill at her validation. 2 other co-workers joined us at the coffee station. Piper told them I was having a rough time. They asked if I was okay. I gave them a summarized version of the same story. They nodded with serious faces. One of them said her ex-husband used to do the same thing. I let her assume Owen was controlling. Simone walked past and overheard part of the conversation. She was my manager and generally kind, but her expression tightened. She told me gently that I should try to keep personal matters discreet at work. I felt my face flush. I said I was just talking to friends. She said she understood, but reminded me that the office was a professional space. After she walked away, Piper said Simone was being uptight. I agreed, even though part of me knew Simone was right. I checked my phone during lunch. There was a message from the unknown number. It said it was nice to meet me on Saturday. It asked if I wanted to get coffee. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed a reply, asking who this was. The response came immediately. The stranger said his name was Dominic, but everyone called him Dom. He said he was the one in the silver mask. I asked how he got my number. He said a mutual friend gave it to him. He did not say who. I should have blocked him. Instead, I asked where he wanted to meet. He suggested a cafe downtown. I agreed to Thursday evening. He sent a smiley face. I put my phone away and felt my stomach twist. That night, I stopped at the supermarket on the way home. I was in the checkout lane with a cart full of groceries when someone said my name. I turned. Owen's younger brother Jared was standing behind me with a basket of energy drinks and protein bars. He asked how I was doing. I said I was fine. He asked how Owen was. I said he was fine too. Jared nodded slowly. He said he heard I had a fun time at the costume party. My chest tightened. I asked what he meant. He said Owen mentioned I went out. I said that was true. Jared asked if Owen went with me. I said no. Jared said that was interesting. I asked what he was implying. He said he was not implying anything. He asked directly if I was cheating on his brother. I felt my face go hot. The cashier stopped scanning items. The woman behind Jared was staring. I said loudly that Jared was harassing me. He said he was asking a simple question. I said I did not have to answer him. I said Owen sent him to intimidate me. Jared shook his head. He said Owen did not send him. He said he was asking because someone from the party told him they saw me with another man. He said if I was doing what he thought I was doing, I should stop before I destroyed my family. I told him to stay away from me. I paid for my groceries and left the bags on the counter. I walked out of the store shaking. I sat in my car and called Piper. I told her Owen's brother confronted me. She asked what he said. I told her he accused me of cheating. She asked if it was true. I said there was a guy at the party, but nothing happened. She said Jared had no right to question me. I agreed. She said Owen's family sounded toxic. I said they had never liked me. She said I should protect myself. I asked how. She said I should start documenting everything, in case Owen tried to turn things against me. I drove home slowly. Owen was in the kitchen making spaghetti. Iris and Leo were drawing at the table. I walked in and immediately started talking. I said Jared cornered me at the store. I said he harassed me in front of strangers. I said he accused me of horrible things. Owen put down the wooden spoon. He asked what Jared said. I told him Jared accused me of cheating. Owen asked if Jared had a reason to think that. I said no. I said his family had always looked for reasons to attack me. Owen said Jared would not make something like that up. I asked if he was taking his brother's side. He said he was trying to understand what happened. I said there was nothing to understand. I said I went to a party, and his brother decided to humiliate me. Iris asked why everyone was yelling. Owen said we were not yelling. I said Daddy's family was being mean. Owen told me not to involve the children. I said he was the one making it an issue. He turned back to the stove. He said we would talk about it later. I said there was nothing to talk about. He did not respond. I went upstairs and locked myself in the bedroom. I texted Piper that Owen was siding with his family. She sent back 3 angry face emojis and said I deserved better. My phone buzzed with a text from my mother Diane. She said she heard from Jared's wife that there was an incident at the store. She asked if I was okay. I called her. I told her Owen's family was spreading lies about me. She asked what kind of lies. I said they were accusing me of cheating. She was quiet for a moment. Then she asked if there was any truth to it. I said no. She said she believed me. She said Owen had always been a bit cold, and maybe he was not meeting my needs. I felt a surge of relief. I said Owen barely paid attention to me. She said that must be very hard. I said it was. She said I should consider couples therapy. I said Owen would never agree. She said that was telling. I hung up feeling justified. Diane believed me. Piper believed me. That was all that mattered. I went back downstairs. Owen was putting the kids to bed. I sat in the kitchen and scrolled my phone. There was a notification from Instagram. Piper had posted a vague story. It said, "Reminder that you do not owe anyone access to your body or your joy." 3 friends had already liked it. Owen came back downstairs. He poured himself a glass of water. His phone was face down on the counter. The screen lit up with a notification. I glanced at it. The preview said, "Downtown 9:45 a.m." I asked what the appointment was. Owen picked up his phone and silenced it. He said it was personal. I asked what that meant. He said it meant it was his business. I asked if he was hiding something. He said I should be more worried about my own behavior. He walked out of the kitchen. I sat alone with my cold coffee and wondered what he knew. Thursday came faster than I expected. I told Owen I had a late meeting at the office. He asked which client. I said it was internal strategy planning. He nodded and said he would pick up both kids. I met Dom at the rooftop bar downtown just after 6. He was sitting at a corner table with 2 glasses of wine already poured. He stood when I arrived and kissed my cheek. I felt a flutter in my stomach. He said I looked even better than he remembered. I said thank you. He asked how my week was. I said it was complicated. He said he was good at complicated. We talked for an hour. He told me he was a freelance photographer. He said he mostly did weddings and corporate events, but wanted to do more artistic work. I said that sounded interesting. He said most people found him boring. I said I did not. He asked about my marriage. I hesitated. Then I said Owen and I were basically separated. Dom asked if we still lived together. I said we did, but we were working out the details. He asked if that was hard. I said it was a relief. It was not true. Owen and I had not discussed separation. We had barely discussed anything. But Dom's hand was resting on the table near mine, and the lie came easily. He said he had been thinking about me since the party. I said I had been thinking about him too. He moved his chair closer. His knee brushed against mine. I did not move away. He asked if I wanted to go somewhere quieter. I said I could not. He asked why. I said I had to get home before it got too late. He said he understood. He traced a finger along my collarbone. I closed my eyes. Someone at the bar laughed loudly. I opened my eyes and looked around. A woman from my yoga class was standing near the entrance with a group of friends. She was looking directly at me. I smiled and gave a small wave. She waved back, but her expression was strange. Dom asked if I knew her. I said she looked familiar. He said we should take a photo. I said I did not think that was a good idea. He said it was just one picture. He held up his phone and took a selfie with me in the frame before I could object. He showed me the photo. I looked happy. He said he wanted to remember this. I said he should delete it. He said he would keep it private. I did not argue. We finished our drinks. He walked me to my car. He kissed me against the elevator wall in the parking garage. His hands were on my waist, then sliding lower. I kissed him back. My phone buzzed in my purse. I ignored it. He asked when he could see me again. I said I would let him know. He said he would be waiting. I drove home with my heart racing. Owen was on the couch when I got home. He looked up from his laptop. He asked how the meeting went. I said it was fine. He asked if we made any decisions. I said we were still in the planning phase. He nodded and returned to his screen. I went upstairs and checked my phone. There were 3 missed calls from Piper. I called her back. She asked where I had been. I said I went out for a drink. She asked with who. I said a friend. She asked if it was a man. I hesitated. She said she knew it. She said she was happy for me. She said I deserved to feel wanted. I said it was not serious. She said it did not have to be. She said I should do what felt good. Then she said she needed to tell me something. She said someone posted a photo in the neighborhood group chat. She said I was in the background with a man who was not Owen. She said people were talking. My stomach dropped. I asked what people were saying. She said most of it was just speculation. She said one woman asked if I was okay. She said someone else commented that Owen was a good guy. She said she defended me and told them to mind their own business. I asked if Owen was in the group chat. She said she did not know. I hung up and opened the app. I found the photo. It was from the rooftop bar. Dom and I were at the corner table. His hand was on my arm. I was laughing. The post had 15 comments. Most were neutral. One said, "Who is the guy?" Another said, "I hope everything is okay with Thessaly and Owen." A third said, "We should not make assumptions." I deleted the app and threw my phone on the bed. The next morning, Owen was in the kitchen making coffee. I came downstairs and he looked at me for a long moment. Then he poured a second cup and slid it across the counter. He did not say anything. He picked up his keys and left for work. I took Iris to school that afternoon. I parked in the usual spot and walked toward the entrance. 2 mothers I knew were standing near the door. They saw me and their conversation stopped. I said hello. They said hello back. One of them asked if everything was okay at home. I said everything was fine. She said she was glad to hear it. They both walked away quickly. I picked up Iris and we went home. She asked why I seemed sad. I said I was not sad. She said I looked sad. I told her to go play with her brother. Owen came home late. He made dinner in silence. After the kids went to bed, I found him in the dining room. His laptop was open. I saw a spreadsheet with columns labeled date, time, location. He closed the screen the moment I walked in. I asked what he was working on. He said it was a project timeline. I said it did not look like a work project. He said I would not understand the formatting. I said he was being secretive. He said I was being paranoid. He stood up and unplugged his laptop. He said he was going to bed. I asked if we could talk. He said there was nothing to talk about. I asked if he was angry. He said he was tired. That night he took his pillow and a blanket to the guest room. I stood in the hallway and asked what he was doing. He said he needed space. I asked why. He said I should already know. I went back to the bedroom alone. I lay in the dark and thought about the photo. I thought about the comments. I thought about the woman from yoga staring at me in the bar. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Dom. He said he could not stop thinking about me. He said he wanted to see me again soon. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed back that I wanted to see him too. I rolled over and closed my eyes. Through the wall, I heard Owen moving around in the guest room. I wondered what he was thinking. I wondered what he knew. I told myself it did not matter. I told myself I was not doing anything wrong. I told myself I deserved to be happy. But when I finally fell asleep, I dreamed about the camera flash at the costume party. I dreamed about the woman with the phone. I dreamed about the spreadsheet on Owen's laptop. I woke up at 3 a.m. in a cold sweat. The house was silent. I got up and walked to the guest room. The door was closed. I pressed my ear against it and heard nothing. I went back to bed and did not sleep again. Sunday was Owen's mother's birthday. Margot had planned lunch at a family restaurant with a private room in the back. I did not want to go. Owen said the kids were expected. I said I had a headache. He said I could take medicine. I said his family did not like me. He said that was not true. I said I could feel it every time we were together. He said I was imagining things. I said I was not going. Iris came into the room holding her favorite dress. She asked if she could wear it to Grandma's party. I looked at Owen. He looked back at me. I said, fine. We arrived 15 minutes late. I blamed traffic. Owen did not correct me. The table was long and covered with a white cloth. Margot was at the head. Jared was across from us with his wife. Owen's father was beside Margot. My mother Diane was near the other end. I had not known she was invited. Margot stood and hugged the kids. She hugged Owen. She nodded at me. I said happy birthday. She said thank you for coming. I sat between Iris and Owen. Diane smiled at me from down the table. Jared did not look at me at all. The server brought bread and water. Margot thanked everyone for being there. She said family was the most important thing. She said she was grateful for her sons and her grandchildren. She did not mention me. Owen helped Leo with his napkin. I drank my water and stared at the menu. The appetizers arrived. People talked about work and school and the weather. I said very little. Piper had texted me that morning asking how I was. I had not replied. Halfway through the main course, Margot stood to make a toast. She thanked Owen for helping her plan the party. She said he was always dependable. She said she was proud of the man he had become. She said she knew he would always do the right thing. The table clapped. Owen looked uncomfortable. I forced a smile and took a long sip of wine. Jared cleared his throat. He said he wanted to add something. He said loyalty was important in a family. He said people should think carefully about their choices. He looked directly at me. I felt my face go hot. I said I did not need a lecture. Jared said he was not lecturing anyone. He said he was making a general observation. I said it did not feel general. Margot set down her fork. She leaned forward and looked at me. She asked if I thought Owen was stupid. The table went completely silent. Iris stopped moving. Leo looked at his grandmother with wide eyes. I asked what she meant. Margot said she meant exactly what she said. She asked if I thought her son was too stupid to notice what I was doing. I said I did not know what she was talking about. Margot said she thought I did. She said someone at the costume party saw me with another man. She said someone else saw me at a bar downtown. She said the photos were all over the neighborhood chat. I looked at Owen. He was staring at his plate. I asked if he put his mother up to this. He did not answer. I said Margot had always looked for reasons to hate me. Margot said that was not true. She said she gave me the benefit of the doubt for years. She said she tried to welcome me into the family. She said I made it very difficult. I said she never accepted me. She said I never tried to be part of the family. I said that was a lie. She said lying seemed to come naturally to me. Diane spoke up. She said this was not appropriate in front of the children. Margot said Diane was right. She said some conversations should happen in private. She said she wished I had thought about the children before I did what I did. I stood up. I said I was not going to sit here and be attacked. Jared said no one was attacking me. He said they were asking me to take responsibility. I said I had nothing to take responsibility for. Jared said someone recorded me at a community meeting, ranting about being a victim. He said the video was sent to Owen. He said I blamed everyone except myself. I looked around the table. Half the people were staring at their plates. The other half were staring at me. Iris had tears in her eyes. Leo started crying. I said this was exactly why I never felt welcome. I said Owen's family was toxic. I said they controlled him and made him think I was the problem. Margot stood. She said she was done. She said she knew the truth about the costume party. She said she knew about the man at the bar. She said she knew I was lying to everyone, including my own children. She walked out. Owen's father followed her. Jared and his wife stood up. Diane looked at me with an expression I could not read. Owen unbuckled Leo from his booster seat. He picked him up and took Iris by the hand. He said we were leaving. I said I was not finished. He said we were finished here. We walked to the parking lot in silence. I tried to talk to Owen through the car window. He buckled the kids in and did not respond. He got in the driver's seat and left. I stood in the parking lot alone. Diane came out a few minutes later. She asked if I wanted to talk. I said Owen's family was horrible. She said they seemed very hurt. I said they had no right to be hurt. She asked if what Margot said was true. I said it was complicated. She said that was not an answer. I said Owen and I were having problems. She said that did not excuse infidelity. I said I did not cheat. She looked at me for a long time. Then she said she hoped that was true. She got in her car and drove away. I drove home slowly. Owen's car was in the driveway. I went inside. The kids were upstairs. I heard water running in the bathroom. I walked toward the garage. The side door was open. Owen was inside loading cardboard boxes into the trunk of his car. The boxes were labeled in black marker. Tools, books, records. I asked what he was doing. He said he was organizing. I said it looked like he was packing. He said he was. I asked where he was going. He said he was staying with Jared for a few days. I said he could not just leave. He said he could. I said, what about the kids? He said the kids would be fine. He said I could explain to them why Daddy needed space. I stood in front of the car. I said he was abandoning us. He said I abandoned us months ago. I asked what that meant. He said I knew exactly what it meant. I said his family poisoned him against me. He said his family had nothing to do with it. He said I did this on my own. His phone rang. He looked at the screen. The caller ID said private. He stepped outside and closed the garage door behind him. I pressed my ear against the door. His voice was low. I could not make out the words. He came back inside 5 minutes later. I asked who he was talking to. He said it was none of my business. I said everything about him was my business. He said that was no longer true. He loaded the last box into the car. I asked when he was coming back. He said he did not know. I asked if he was divorcing me. He said he was thinking about it. I said he was overreacting. He said I had been lying for months. I said I had not lied about anything. He said I lied about the party. I said nothing happened at the party. He asked if I thought he was stupid. I did not answer. He said I made him look like a fool in front of everyone we knew. He said I told people he was controlling and abusive. He said none of it was true. I said he was twisting my words. He said my words were recorded. He got in the car. I grabbed the door handle. I said we needed to talk about this. He said we were done talking. I asked what I was supposed to tell the kids. He said I should tell them the truth for once. He backed out of the driveway. I stood in the garage alone. The overhead light buzzed. I looked at the empty spaces where the boxes had been. I went inside. Iris was sitting on the stairs. She asked where Daddy went. I said he had to go help Uncle Jared with something. She asked when he was coming back. I said soon. She asked if it was her fault. I said of course not. She said everyone was yelling at lunch. I said that was a grown-up problem. She said she did not like grown-up problems. I hugged her and said everything would be okay. She did not hug me back. That night I called Piper. I said Owen left. She asked where he went. I said he was staying with his brother. She asked what happened. I told her about the lunch. She said Owen's family sounded awful. I said they were. She asked if I was okay. I said I did not know. She said I should focus on taking care of myself. I said I did not know how. I hung up and sat in the dark living room. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Dom. He said he missed me. He asked when I was free. I stared at the message. I thought about Owen's face in the garage. I thought about Margot's words at the restaurant. I thought about Iris sitting on the stairs asking if it was her fault. I put the phone face down on the couch. I did not reply. The neighborhood meeting was on Thursday evening. I almost did not go. Piper said I should. She said if I did not show up, people would assume I was guilty. I said guilty of what? She said guilty of whatever they were accusing me of. The meeting was at the community center, in a room with folding chairs and fluorescent lights. About 20 people were there. I recognized most of them. Piper came with me. We sat near the back. The board president went through the agenda, updates on the playground equipment, discussion about holiday decorations, reminder about parking regulations. Then she said they wanted to address community conduct standards. She said there had been some concerns about respectful behavior and privacy. She said everyone should be mindful of their actions and how they affect others. I felt every eye in the room turn toward me. I stood up. Piper whispered for me to sit down. I ignored her. I said I wanted to address the elephant in the room. I said people had been talking about me. I said they had been spreading rumors and making assumptions. I said it needed to stop. The board president said this was not the appropriate forum. I said it was absolutely the appropriate forum. I said if people were going to gossip about me, they should have the courage to do it to my face. A woman in the third row raised her hand. She said she was not gossiping. She said she was concerned. She asked if I had talked to Owen about what people were seeing. I asked what people were seeing. She said they were seeing me with another man. She said they were seeing photos online. She said they were worried about my family. I said my family was none of their business. The woman said we all lived in the same neighborhood. She said what happened in one household affected everyone. I said that was ridiculous. A man near the front said he had known Owen for 5 years. He said Owen was a good person. He said he hoped I was treating him with respect. I said I did not need relationship advice from a stranger. The board president tried to move on to the next agenda item. I kept talking. I said I was being targeted. I said people were slut-shaming me. I said they had no idea what my marriage was like. I said Owen had been emotionally distant for years. I said I was tired of being made to feel guilty for wanting to be happy. Someone pulled out a phone. I pointed at them and said to put it away. They did not. I raised my voice. I said recording me without permission was harassment. They kept recording. Piper stood up and tried to guide me toward the door. I pulled away. I said I was not done. She said we should go. I said I had a right to defend myself. The board president said if I could not remain calm, I would need to leave. I said I was calm. My voice was shaking. I said everyone in this room had judged me without knowing the truth. I said they were all hypocrites. I walked out. Piper followed. We sat in her car in the parking lot. My hands were shaking. She said I should not have engaged. I said they deserved to hear the truth. She said I made it worse. I asked whose side she was on. She said she was on my side. She said I just needed to be smarter about how I handled things. I said I was tired of being smart. I said I was tired of pretending everything was fine. She drove me home. Owen's car was in the driveway. I had not expected him. Piper asked if I wanted her to come in. I said no. Owen was in the kitchen with the kids. He had picked them up from Diane's house. He looked at me when I walked in. He asked how the meeting went. I said it was fine. He said he heard otherwise. I asked who told him. He said it did not matter. He told the kids to go upstairs and brush their teeth. Iris asked if I would tuck her in. I said I would. She looked at Owen. He nodded. After the kids were in bed, I found Owen in the dining room. He was putting folders into a briefcase. I asked what he was doing. He said he was getting organized. I asked for what. He said, for what came next. I asked what that meant. He said I would find out. I said he was trying to scare me. He said he was not trying to do anything. He said he was simply handling things properly. I asked if he was seeing a lawyer. He said he had been documenting everything. I asked what that meant. He said it meant he had saved every text message, every social media post, every lie I told about him. I said I had not lied. He said he had recordings. I asked what recordings. He said the community meeting was recorded. He said someone sent him the video. He said I accused him of being emotionally abusive in front of 20 people. He said none of it was true. I said I was just venting. He said I was destroying his reputation. I said he was being dramatic. He said I made people think he was a bad husband and a bad father. He said I did it on purpose. I asked what he wanted from me. He said he wanted me to stop. I asked, "Stop what?" He said, "Stop lying. Stop manipulating. Stop making him the villain." He picked up his briefcase. I asked where he was going. He said he was staying at Jared's again. I asked for how long. He said until he figured things out. I followed him to the stairs. I asked if he was really going to leave me. He said I left him a long time ago. I said that was not fair. He said nothing about this was fair. He stopped on the landing. He turned and looked at me. He said he was going to handle this through the proper channels. He said I should prepare myself. I asked what that meant. He said I would understand soon enough. His phone was on the banister. It vibrated. A notification lit up the screen. I saw the preview. It said, "Confirmation filed." He picked up the phone and silenced it. I asked what was filed. He said it was not my concern yet. I said I had a right to know. He said I would know when it was time. He walked down the stairs and out the door. I stood on the landing and listened to his car start. I went back to the dining room. The table was empty except for one folder. It was labeled Household. I opened it. Inside were printed bank statements, mortgage documents, insurance policies. Everything was highlighted and organized with colored tabs. There was a sticky note on the front. It said, "Copy, original filed." I closed the folder and put it back on the table. I went upstairs and checked on the kids. They were both asleep. I stood in the hallway and felt the house around me. It was too quiet. I went into the bedroom and sat on the edge of the bed. My phone buzzed. It was a text from my mother. She said she heard about the meeting. She asked if I was okay. I did not reply. Another text came in. It was from Piper. She said someone posted the video from the meeting in the neighborhood group. She said I should not watch it. I opened the app. The video was shaky but clear. I was standing in front of the room. My voice was loud. I was saying Owen had emotionally isolated me. I was saying I had every right to do what made me happy. I was pointing at people. The comments were brutal. One said she sounds unhinged. Another said I feel bad for her husband. A third said someone should check on those kids. I deleted the app again. I threw the phone across the room. It hit the wall and clattered to the floor. I lay down on the bed and stared at the ceiling. I thought about Owen's face on the stairs. I thought about the notification on his phone. I thought about the folder on the table. I thought about the stranger at the party. I thought about Dom at the bar. I thought about all the small choices that had brought me here. I closed my eyes. I wondered what Owen had filed. I wondered what came next. I did not sleep. Monday morning I got a text from an unknown number. It said I needed to appear at the courthouse downtown at 10 o'clock to handle a permit issue related to the house. It said the matter was time-sensitive and required my signature. I assumed it was a clerical error. Owen usually handled that kind of thing. I texted back asking for clarification. The response said I was listed as a co-owner and my presence was required. I called Owen. He did not answer. I called again. It went to voicemail. I dropped the kids at school and drove downtown. I had not been to the courthouse in years. The building was large and grey with steps leading up to the main entrance. I parked in the public lot and walked inside. The lobby was busy. People stood in lines at various counters. Security guards checked bags. Lawyers in suits moved through the crowd with briefcases. I looked around for the permits office. I saw my mother near the information desk. I was surprised. I asked what she was doing here. She said she got the same text I did. I said that was strange. She agreed. We stood together near a row of chairs. I checked my phone. There was no new information. I asked Diane if she thought this was a mistake. She said she did not know. A man in a grey suit approached. He was holding a large envelope. He asked if I was Thessaly Frost. I said I was. He said he needed to deliver this to me. He handed me the envelope. I asked what it was. He said it was a legal document and I had been officially served. He said the date and time were recorded. Then he walked away. I stared at the envelope. My hands were shaking. Diane asked what it was. I said I did not know. She said to open it. I tore the seal and pulled out a thick stack of papers. The first page was titled, Petition for Dissolution of Marriage with Temporary Orders. My vision blurred. I flipped through the pages. Owen's name was at the top as the petitioner. My name was listed as the respondent. The petition cited irreconcilable differences and specific grounds, including infidelity. There was an entire section detailing the costume party. It included statements from witnesses. It included the photo from the rooftop bar. It included a transcript of the community meeting video. I kept reading. There was a section on defamation. It listed every lie I had told about Owen, every accusation I made about him being controlling or emotionally abusive, every social media post Piper had made on my behalf. I flipped to the temporary orders. Owen was granted primary physical custody of Iris and Leo, pending a full evaluation. I was granted supervised visitation twice a week. The joint bank accounts were frozen. The credit cards were frozen. I was barred from relocating the children outside the county. Diane was reading over my shoulder. She did not say anything. Thessaly stared at the ceiling, the motel's flickering neon sign, bleeding red light through the curtains. Sleep wouldn't come. The papers on the nightstand felt heavier than the cheap comforter. She sat up, grabbed her phone, and turned it on. Notifications flooded in. Missed calls from Piper, texts from work friends asking if she was okay, a calendar reminder for the paternity test in 10 days. Nothing from Owen. She opened a new message to him. Fingers hovered. I'm sorry, for everything. Can we talk? Not through lawyers. She deleted it. Typed again. Leo is yours, I swear it. The test will show. Deleted. What could words fix now? Instead, she searched for a divorce attorney. Found one with good reviews, specializing in high-conflict cases. Booked a consultation for tomorrow morning. Then she called Piper. Voicemail. It's me. I messed up bad. Need a place to crash after I see a lawyer. Call me. She lay back, eyes on the dark. Tomorrow, fight for supervised visits. Unfreeze what accounts she could. Prepare her side. Evidence of her own. Texts where Owen ignored the kids' events. Photos of his late nights at the office. Not revenge. Balance. For the first time, a plan. Fragile, but hers. The neon buzzed on. She didn't cry. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next story. Write in the comments from which city you are watching.